Welcome back to TheChowTimePod. It's your host, Red. I got a video today from Life of Nay, I want to say. A feminist woman that is no longer feminist, and she has that typical feminist look. You know, like nose rings, face tattoos, tattoos on her fingers, and things like that. And she's not a feminist anymore. And it's amazing that once people are able to see, in a sense, like the red pill, which would be like the truth of what's going on and how women and men are treating each other, it's almost hard to unsee. It's impossible to unsee. So please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. And let's get to that chow. It's chow time.
I don't know how this happened or why, but why is it like socially acceptable now to hate men and to publicly announce that and to say like men are useless and that you don't need men and all this stuff?
I think they're important.
Yeah, they are prideful in this fact of hating men. Like, I don't know any other group that is so prideful in hating and then that is allowed. Like, if anybody hated any other race or any other group of people, the Jewish community, African American community, the handicapped community, like any other community, it doesn't matter what community it is, there will be some flack. But when it comes to us men, no, men are shit, men are trash, men, we all hate men, men can all go to hell, men should all die. And it's all acceptable hate speech in a sense.
Hey. Are men trash?
Cis, heterosexual men, absolutely, especially white men.
Straight white men good for?
Straight white men?
Yeah.
Not a lot.
I've been off social media now for a while, and when I was on it, I saw a lot of this like rhetoric like from feminists, especially back when I was a feminist. Like how men are useless and they're good for nothing.
Alexa, remind me that I don't need a man and men are useless. When should I remind you? Every damn day.
And this is the sort of stuff that I saw that ended up making me stop being a feminist. Like, I don't know if they're trying to like make people stop being feminists by saying all this stuff, but that's exactly what happened for me because I just got sick of seeing all this stuff. But imagine if the tables were turned and men started saying how useless women are and we don't need women and that they hate women, and maybe some men do, people
We're going to jail. We're going to jail.
automatically jump to Andrew Tate, but I think he says a lot of stuff that's quite funny, to be honest. And
I hate everyone equally. Don't come at me and call me sexist or racist or any of these things. I hate everyone. I don't care if you're black, white, straight, gay, man, and woman. I hate you anyway.
like, people are just so offended nowadays. And
They
I
are.
don't agree with everything that he says, but I do agree with a lot of what he says. Men are being oppressed nowadays. The roles have kind of switched. I think feminism had its place back in the day, but women, we have our rights now, and it's kind of like progressed to like hating men. And obviously not all feminists are like that, but the ones that I see online are. I have a lot of men in my life who are amazing people, and my boyfriend, he's the kindest person I've ever met. And these radical feminists that hate on all men, and they're like grouping them into one box, like all men are bad. But the thing is, there's bad women as well out there.
That there are. She's right. I like her take on it. It's just not bad men. It's bad people. There's always bad people everywhere. It doesn't matter what country, doesn't matter what organization, doesn't matter what creed, doesn't matter what group of person. There's always bad actors to ruin shit.
It's not a gender thing, I don't think. Another thing is like saying that masculinity is toxic, or toxic masculinity and stuff, but masculinity is needed, and men are needed.
Masculinity built the world, protected the world, destroyed it also, but protected majority of it. When you think about civilization itself, without masculinity, the innate programming that's kind of built into us to protect, to provide, to, care for women, we wouldn't be alive. Remember, it has to be built into it, or else men would just not do what they need to do to progress society. But yet, men have built shelters, built caves, or made caves, built AC, built roads, built all these things for the convenience of the greater good. You think the person that's paving the roads really gets to enjoy the road himself that much? No, it's for almost everybody else, because 99.99% of the time, it's everybody else that's using the road. So,
who is it that built our country? Who is it that fought in wars for us? And I went to school with some guys, and like certain people, they were so like confident and outgoing when they were younger, and just seeing it gradually, slowly over time, over the years, they've like become more and more reserved in themselves. So like, I don't know if this is like fully it, but part of it at least is probably because they're so scared of being cancelled, and like they're too scared to even have a voice, because feminists have made it like hard for them to be heard. There's like constant emasculation of men on social media and in real life, and humiliation and all this stuff. It's just super sad. Like, yeah, men are needed and masculinity is needed. There's toxic masculinity, there's such a thing as that, but not all masculinity is toxic, and the same with femininity.
I'm arguing with this on particular. I don't think there's toxic masculinity. Masculinity, it is what it is, and men can use it in toxic ways, as in femininity. Femininity is what it is, and women can use it in toxic ways. There's not toxic femininity or toxic masculinity itself. Being masculine, doing masculine things in itself is not toxic. It's how you wield the power.
Like there's the wounded feminine and the wounded masculine, and that's what toxic masculinity is wounded. So
it's just wounded
a lot
people.
of the traits that feminists claim to hate in men are the traits that feminists have. Obviously not all feminists. I know some feminists in my life, and they're very feminine women, but a lot of them are masculine.
Yeah.
They're very goal driven and quite aggressive.
Oh, you're raising a little bastard as well. Oh, you'll get your pin on it. Wow. Wow. You're not a feminist. You're a bastard.
And they say they don't like aggressiveness in men and it's toxic masculinity. Yeah, a lot of feminists are aggressive and angry, and so yeah, I obviously don't think all feminists are bad, but I think the small minority that have this extreme view and hate men are ruining it for the rest of the feminists, giving them a bad reputation, and it's actually having the opposite effect and driving people away from feminism, because that's the reason why I'm no longer a feminist. I don't think all feminists are bad, but also not all men are bad. Like, that should go without saying. Anyways, I know it's kind of a controversial topic today, and it shouldn't be. If I'm being honest, it shouldn't be controversial to say that I don't think it's okay to hate men.
More power to you, girl. Like, we love women that can kind of see what's going on and want to defend men genuinely. I don't know this girl. She seems very genuine with this video. It seems like her significant partner, her boyfriend, goes through a lot of this shit that she sees. Plus, I mean, women see things that men don't see also. So I'm sure she sees it in all the women surrounding her and how they treat men and just the rhetoric that gets pushed down her throat. I would assume not very many women can absorb all that constantly and not start thinking about it and not start wondering why it is and start siding with men. Why? Because people are, at least women, some women are somewhat logical, and there's it's just part of us in general, humans, is to be somewhat logical. Yes, women are a little bit more illogical, but once things connects in their brains correctly, they're gonna kind of go with it. But like I said, I can tell somewhat that she's really genuine. I can't not tell that she's not. The way she's going about it, she's very soft spoken. The tattoos and everything else definitely shows that she was a feminist, but the way she speaks and her demeanor really has seemed like it's changed. And it's okay for women to change their minds. I do agree that chameleons, and there's a lot of women like that out there, but there's genuine women that do absorb the red pill, in a sense, that they understand, oh shit, it is a little bit off in the world, how everything is. And I'm not saying that we have to give them a chance. I'm not saying we have to do anything, but it's best to give some type of benefit of the doubt to women. Vet them, get to know them. Yeah, some of them are chameleons. Dump the shit out of them. Who gives a fuck about them? But there are genuine women out there. Don't, as in a sense, discount all women that are all going to be chameleons. So please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. And I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.